Here we are. Yes.
Hi. Well, y'all caught me. Bitch, I know we live, but please hold. I was just letting everybody know I was on right now. But anyway, how y'all doing? What's going on? Welcome to a brand new episode of On the Line. I'm your host, Chris Avalon. And yes, I know happy Christmas Eve and all that good stuff. I know I was like, well, I wasn't going to do any more shows. I was going to take time off, but you want to know something? I am a slave to this industry. There's a lot of tea that's been coming out. So I had to come on and come kiki with y'all. So if you have the time, if y'all available, if y'all not doing too much stuff, hold on, let me fix my ring lights. Ooh, I'm shining bright like a diamond over here. But anyway, so if y'all not too busy, come kiki with me in the comments because we got a lot to get to. We got to talk about this Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez trial that came to a conclusion yesterday. He's been found guilty on all three accounts, may face 22 years in prison. Plus possible deportation. Well, child, send his ass back to Canada. We ain't want his ass any damn way. Take Drake with you while you're at it. Also, wait, hold on, because what is that? Plus, we got some Drag Race news. We got a lot to talk about, including some people with some shows. We got RuPaul revealing which Drag Race queen he would have double crowned. Because, you know, we've had a double crowning before with Monet and Trinity, the Tuck. But there was another girl, he said if the opportunity presented itself, he would, you know, double crown if he had the choice. But we're going to get into that because I got to break that down. Plus, we got some tea on another Drag Race girl has come out as trans. We got some tea on Mary J. Blige. She got a couple of deals that's going on, outside of music, and I'm here for it. So we're going to talk about that. And a whole lot more. So without further ado, before we get into everything, click like and subscribe right here with my fingers and running across it. The Chris Avalon. That is my Twitter handle. That's my all my social media handles, except the YouTube. You can pretty much just type in Chris Avalon, it comes up. But anyway, so once again, glad you all are here, and let's get into this tea. But please hold while I take a sip of this good old Red Bull. Okay, so let's get into this whole Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion thing. So everything went down. The verdict is in, and Tory Lanez has been found guilty of shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Now, Lanez, whose government name is Daystar Peterson, was found guilty of all three felony firearm counts. And we're gonna break those down because apparently, I feel like a lot of people, it's kind of been going through one ear and out the other in regards to the charges, because y'all been so caught up in the fact of, did he shoot her? Did he not shoot her? Oh, she was doing all this other stuff. She being messy. Y'all were caught up in the soap opera, but a lot of y'all was not paying attention to the charges. So the charges are discharging a firearm with gross negligence, guilty of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and guilty of carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, all which they proved in the case, hence why he's guilty. Now, the Canadian rapper pled not guilty on November of 2020 and faces up to 22 years and 8 months in prison, along with subsequent deportation. The sentencing hearing will take place on January 27th. right off prison, so he's probably gonna be sitting up in a jail cell until his sentencing. So shortly after the verdict, Daystar's father, Sunstar, child, we don't get these goddamn names, but anyway, we're gonna continue. Sunstar Peterson and Tory's stepmother, who had on that big ass afro wave trying to look like a bootleg Angie Stone, shared their outrage and even called out Jay-Z. Now, singer reporter Megan Cuniff took to social media to reveal what had happened. She said Tory Lanez's father stood up, and screamed, "This is a wicked system." He screamed at the prosecutors that they are evil and they know exactly what they did here. His stepmother stood up screaming and yelling. Father was yelling about Rock Nation. Of course, she's gonna co-sign, because what if she step out of line and be like, "But your son was wrong." He probably gonna smack the shit out of her, because we clearly see, based on Sunstar's behavior, we see why Daystar act the way he does. There was no accountability taken from anything that Daystar has done in this entire trial. And then on top of that, if you listen to his new album, he snitched on himself. He clearly broke down the whole situation of him in the jacuzzi trying to get up in Kylie's coochie, and Megan got mad, even though she was technically, Megan had pushed Tory off on the friend who she's no longer friends with, because then you want to, when you get drunk, you get messy, and then you want to go around trying to hunt somebody else's man that you said you didn't want. But then you're getting jealous because he's trying to hunch up on Kylie. And you ever know about the Kardashians, they get passed around like a goddamn basketball. Pimp Mama Chris always, she told her daughter as well, especially when it comes to that black dick. So then Tory Lanez was remanded on the spot, let out in handcuffs by sheriff's deputies. There were 6 total in the courtroom, 2 at the door and 4 behind Lanez, and there was quite a scene when they tried to get Lanez's father and stepmother under control. One woman in the gallery held up her hand as Tory's father was screaming about Rock Nation and wicked injustice, repeating, "In the name of Jesus." Deputies were forcing them all out into the hallway and telling the gallery he had to stay seated. Well, the gallery, we had to stay seated. One woman turned and looked at the reporter sitting behind her, including me, and said, "Jay-Z is a bitch. Report that. Jay-Z is a bitch." And so here's the thing. Because if y'all want, y'all can go over to my website, chrisavalon.com. Y'all can get the whole breakdown. And I want to give a shout out to the black media people, the black bloggers, and all this stuff that was in the courtroom, including Armand Wiggins. He definitely did his thing in regards of reporting a lot of the news. I know a lot of people, a lot of the black bloggers, like the Shade Room and Neighborhood Talk and all of them, they were using a lot of his footage because he was there on the scene in the courtroom for the last week. He said he wasn't there for the 2 weeks the trial was going on, but he was there for the last week. He was there early, and he was talking about, and he goes in at length about the racism that he was dealing with from the judicial people that was in there, where it was the prosecutor would talk only to the white media, but when the black folks came over, he would scurry away. So there is a lot of that goes on. And the thing that irks my spirit about coverage, especially when it comes to white media, y'all love to get up in there and y'all want the dibs on our shit for our entertainment, but y'all don't want to respect the black bloggers and the black influencers that go up in there and try to be fair and do the job that needs to be done. And I don't remember the many other black influencers that was in the room, but I know Armand Wiggins did his thing in regards of being fair with this trial, and I've been trying to be as fair as I can too. But saying this, yeah, Megan was wrong for how she reacted the day that when they all went to Kylie's house and was hunching. Well, they was all drinking, and she was in there making the nachos in the kitchen, and then he was in the jacuzzi with old girl Kylie, and then Megan's getting mad. And there's a song on his album where he basically spills all of this, reveals all of this. So when y'all out here calling people liars and this, that, and the third, he put it in a song. He has a whole album that's dedicated to this whole situation. So at what point are we going to hold the people who do the crimes accountable? And I feel bad because at the end of the day, nobody really wins in this case. Megan is constantly going to get dragged by the misogynists. And not just the misogynists, I'm talking about men, but the girls too, because there was a lot of you women out here that was dogging her as well. Because y'all love Tory. Y'all like short niggas with fucking Beijing in they damn head. and wearing 2 pieces and a biscuit on top of their head? No. Trash. He always been trash. And on top of that, he has a reputation of inciting violence on people. Didn't he hit August Alsina at one point? So at what point do we hold people accountable? Y'all did the same thing with the baby. Y'all look the other way because y'all entertained by the shenanigans. But there comes a point in time when you want to know something. When you do ish, the ish gonna catch up with you eventually. You're gonna pay on the front end or the back end, but eventually you're gonna pay. That's just the way the world works. And on top of that, you a whole immigrant in the United States, and his father up in here trying to talk shit about us. Excuse you? Y'all can take y'all 4'9" asses and go back to fucking Canada if that's the way y'all want to act. Because y'all not gonna come up in the United States and try to talk shit about us. Recoup our coins because you want to be a rapper, a mediocre one at that. And I think that's what it was. If the father just looks the other way because, you know, my son famous, he taking care of us. But at some point, we got to hold our people accountable. I'm sorry. So he was wrong on that, and they was wrong on that. And you want to know something? I'm going to give Jason Lee his props in a second, but first I got to read her. Because this heifer had the nerve to go on social media and post this damn tweet, or was it an Instagram post? It was something, but it was stupid. So you sitting up in here saying you was the most neutral person out of everybody in the media, which is a lie, number one, because you seem to think you're the only one that's out here doing shit for black media, when you're not, because a lot of us is doing it. To me, I always feel like you have an agenda whenever you try to do things and weaponize black media or hide behind it to justify your BS. But we clearly see you not for black. You'll go on mediocre ass shows. I ain't gonna mention who they are. Y'all seen them do the interviews recently. But anyway, because I'm going a little off the tangent. Let's bring it back. Hey, Sailor Mermaid. What was we have the post, right? Where Lipo Lee had to fix his damn mouth to say this foolishness. You knew exactly what I was talking about. See, production trying to tell me not to shade somebody. I ain't mention no names, but like I said, y'all know who he did the interview with. But anyway, he wasn't the only one. There's a chick with no neck he did one with too. But anyway, so he wrote, I was the only person who stayed neutral, regardless if I was talking to him, her, or y'all. He deserved his day in court. She deserved closure. And today the verdict was guilty. And that's true. He did deserve his day in court. It would have been nice if he would have taken a stand, but we know why he didn't take the stand, because he was guilty. So he didn't want to come out and admit that he had the gun and he was popping off the gun and the shrapnel got in her foot and all the other stuff. Like y'all trying to reenact scenes from fucking Harlem Nights. Yeah, we know what the shooting in the foot, all that stuff, dance bitch. We know that's from Harlem Nights. Y'all not even original. Shout out to Eddie Murphy and Della Reese. May she rest in peace. Anyway, so he said, this photo is not shade to Tory. It's shade to everyone who said Meg was a liar. Shade towards mainstream news who attacked black media while profiting off a black woman's pain, and to everyone online who attacked and called Meg a liar, making her want to kill herself. I pray she's getting closure. So someone named Lay Breezy wrote, so if Tory was not guilty, then would you have posted a pic of y'all together? And he goes, yeah, would. Meaning, neutral my ass. You're playing this game up. It's very RuPaul's Drag Race. Oh, so we're going to take 3 different cuts of who won. Of the winners, the top 3 girls. We're going to film individually. Oh, and the winner is, and the winner is, and the winner is. So you put one of those. So if the trial would have went each other way, you was going to post a picture and post some fake ass posts like you pro-black. Like you pro this one, you pro that. But no, you pro-fake. Because if you were standing behind being neutral, you would have explained it in the same way that I explained it, the way Armand explained it in his story, and a bunch of other people who are actually neutral and not just trying to use this as an opportunity to promote themselves. So that's where he got it all the way fucked up. But if we got that NBC clip of the case, we're going to play that, we're going to come back. Run the clip. Oh, so I thought you said we had something. Okay. So it's this, which basically I just read. So okay. So overall, I have to say this. There's no real winners in this case. Tory's going to jail. He did something stupid. You're carrying an unlicensed firearm. You don't know how to control your anger, so you have a lot of your behaviors misogynist. I did feel bad for his little sister though. I guess that's the child that Sunstar had with the stepmother. I felt bad for the little girl because I saw her in the footage that emerged online from Armand when he filmed with his phone, and she was like, the way they doing her little brother and this and the other. I felt the child's pain, but I feel like the child doesn't understand because you're going by what your adults, the parents, and all this stuff is saying around you. So you don't understand what's going on. So you're just picking up what they're saying and you're running with it. But like I said, at the end of the day, Tory has to take responsibility for his actions and his behavior. And this is going to be the result. Now, Megan wasn't the one that pulled all of this for him to go to jail or go to trial. This wasn't even her. She was going to lie. And then he went all over the black blogs and tried to discredit her. He got ahead. He started talking all this shit about her, why we're at where we're at. If he would have just left it alone, and then on top of that, let's not forget about the 1 million blackmail, where you try to keep her quiet. And then, so I feel like in this point, Megan is the red herring in this whole thing. But this is basically California versus Daystar Peterson. That's what this was. Because LA has their gun laws, they don't play with that. They really don't. They will throw the book at you. They don't care who it is. They're hardcore with the gun laws in LA. So, like I said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and you gonna learn. There was something I was trying to look for before I get to this next story. Oh, because we're gonna get into this Beyoncé story, because Jason Lee, yeah, he's still the news child, where he basically said what he said about Beyoncé. And you want to know something? Y'all probably gonna get mad, but I don't give a damn. I agree with him on this. Because, that was another thing too, before we get to that. What the hell did Jay-Z and Roc Nation, all of them have to do with this whole situation? She didn't, Beyonce, Jay-Z, they didn't put the gun in your hand. They didn't, they weren't at Kylie's house. They don't even like the Kardashians, even though you already know Kim tried a damnness to get close to Beyonce. But like I said, we smell phoniness. We smell all that BS a mile away. We smell it. We know an opportunist when we see one. So Beyonce wasn't having it. So she ain't trying to get around them Kardashian, them Kar-Jenners and all that other mess. But to me, I feel like this whole situation, why are you blaming everybody else for what Tory did? Tory needs to take responsibility for what Tory did, and he will have many a years, depending. I don't even think he should be getting 22 years. I just be like, you know what? Let him get like a year or two. But the 22 years, that's kind of crazy. And is there, unfairness when it comes to like black people in prison and stuff? Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. However, I don't think it applies to this. And a lot of times people say, oh yeah, another black man being thrown in jail. Let's not go there and do that. We need to stop protecting and always taking up for problematic people, especially because they're black. You need to stop worshiping these celebrities too, because y'all gonna realize after a while, a lot of them ain't shit. Just like the music, like their art. But when you get to know a lot of these people outside of that, you're going to realize a lot of them ain't shit. Trust and believe on that. So now we're going to get into this other topic. So Jason Lee, people's going in on him, but I felt like he had a point. Because a lot of y'all are low-key upset because Beyonce dropped Renaissance over the summer and we still don't have them damn visuals. She's also been throwing a lot of these Club Renaissance events and not showing up. She basically turned these events into like a museum of modern art type of exhibit where she'll parade the little horse she was riding on the album cover and put it in like a glass box, like it's something out of fucking Nope. Y'all know the scene I'm talking about if you've seen Nope. And like parading it around like this is something that was in my art exhibit. So here's what he said. He said, Beyonce has been having these pop-up Renaissance parties for the community and not showing up. Kind of whack. If she showed up, it would make her iconic. Not that she's not, but I mean more than she is. This don't ever see me celebrity thing is so 90s. Oh, that's true. It wasn't just the 90s that people was being all mysterious and shit. But anyway, I digress. And I can be critical of Beyonce because I'm a stan, but had I got all excited to go to her party and she wasn't there, I would have been over it. Well, I feel like this is the case of right message, wrong messenger, because quiet as it's kept. Remember that old video back in the day where Beyonce and Jason Lee were at an event and he was trying to run after her and she basically was, the little Kim, trying to duck, get away from his thirsty ass? Y'all remember that? It's out there. The footage is out there in the universe. Oh, so Sailor Mermaid, I should have read his post earlier. He said, honestly, Lovely T and Thought Crimes were the ones who felt neutral regarding the whole case. And I thought that Rolling Stone did a great breakdown of the whole Tory and Megan case as well. And then, like I said, Armand Wiggins was in the courtroom, so I actually liked how he broke everything down. You can watch that video on my website as well. When I told about the Tory and Megan case, I posted the whole episode up there. So if y'all want to check it out, definitely can. Definitely do that. But anyway, I kind of agree with him. It's like, to me, don't get me wrong, I love mystery. I'm not saying that Beyonce need to go out and do a reality show and let us know what's going on in her personal life. I don't think that is something that she needs to do. You can still keep the mystery regarding your personal life. However, when you have a record that you are putting out and you have fans that love what you do and support you, if I had this whole Club Renaissance thing, I definitely would have been showing up. Just to say hey to my fans. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? Let y'all get your little pictures in. I'm not hugging, kissing, none of that shit. COVID is still around, is live and well. So I would not want to be, I wouldn't be doing the hugging and kissing because of the 19. But I would show up to the Club Renaissance thing in my little disco get up, pop in, kiki with the hardcore fans, be up in my little VIP section. Y'all could play like all kinds of disco music, but also mix some of that Renaissance music up in there from the album. That's what I would have been doing. Look, you get all these other people. The reason why people gravitate towards like the Taylor Swifts and the Madonnas and stuff is because they went hard body. They go hard body for the event. I didn't know this because I don't really be paying attention to Taylor like this, but I didn't know the bitch. But let me hold on. I did not know that she made baked cookies for her fans. I'm like, oh, now she like the lady that baked the little kids in the oven. You out here baking cookies for your fans, which is cute. A little creepy, but cute. I ain't baking for y'all. I love you, but I ain't gonna sit up in here and bake some damn, some bakery stuff for y'all. But that's cute or whatever. That's something that seems like that's very Taylor, though she likes to dick. She likes to do all that stuff. She's very Susie Homemaker. Shout out to her. Madonna, whenever she would come out with a new album, it was always an event. I remember when I was too young to go. I wanted to go, but I saw it on TV when I was a little kid. When she released Bedtime Stories, she had it at, I believe, Hammerstein or Roseland was one of them. And she basically came out in a nightie, a blue nightgown, was dancing, did a little performance, actually opened a book and read it to all of her fans that was in the audience, hence the whole Bedtime Stories thing. Whenever she came out with an album, it was like the Confessions album or I believe the music album. I remember there was a time when I think it was also at Hammerstein, where she did like a little mini concert for the fans. She performed like 5 songs from that album and gave her fans a little show. So there are ways that you go about trying to get people invested and to get into the music and stuff. And Madonna, and Beyonce not doing that, it's just sort of like, it feels very much like, you know what? I keep the mystery, I give them a little bit of crumbs. Like it feels very capitalistic, like very 1%. Like you get the whole pie, and if you give the people, we keep the whole 99 99.95% of the pie, but that little piece, we bring up a little crumbs, sprinkle it out to the fans, and then y'all just eat it up. Eat it up. And y'all feel like that's enough. But I'm like, ma'am, if I'm spending all this money on you, as a fan, I need a little more than you just throwing a couple of parties with some DJ and some damn some set pieces from your album. And that's gonna be enough. That's gonna satisfy me enough until you drop these damn visuals that you refilmed. We don't know what's going on with that, and we know a tour's coming because we talked about it in the last episode about the demands that you're gonna have for the people that work for you. So that's all I'm saying. Because I am a Beyonce fan, and I do feel like the thing that people need to realize is that if you are a fan, that I don't like that stand shit. Like nobody blindly gets away with anything. That's ridiculous to me. If y'all blindly just follow people and don't question nothing, there's a problem with that. I don't even like that just in general. If you got a friend, because I don't feel like you're real friends with people if they don't check you on your shit. A real friend will check you. If you're a fan of somebody, I call out everybody equally. I'm a big fan of a lot of artists, and I call them out on their stuff, and I give them the props when they do. So if you're investing a lot of money in an artist, I do feel that we should be able to question them on certain things. That's all. So good luck, Beyonce. I know she's just this. We're probably never going to get her doing anything to promote and really engage with the fans, but it's just my little gripe. I don't think it'll ever happen. I mean, maybe it's because she's incessantly shy. I don't know, but to me, it's like, give the fans one. Oh. Okay. So, shout out to you, girl. And Jason, stop being so damn messy. All right, so let's move on. And let's talk about my girl, T.S. Madison. So, congratulations to my girl, T.S. Madison, media personality, I should say, who has secured yet another bag. Now, the queer icon has been selected to join the Emmy-winning drag competition series, RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, as a rotating judge alongside Ross Matthews and Carson Kressley. Now, in addition to Maddie, pop superstar Ariana Grande will sit on the judges panel during the 2-hour season premiere. Other extra special guest judges include Ali Wong, Amandla Sternberg, Harvey Gillian, who was actually just on he was a judge on this season's Dragula, which I have to point out, sidebar, congratulations to Victoria Elizabeth Black for winning. I knew she was going to win. However, that finale, in the words of RuPaul, it was a mess. What was that? It looked like it was very low budget. I wanted the filth, the horror, and the glamour. We got them performing to some Boulay Brothers 80s dated ass song. No shade, but just saying. The song was okay. The performances didn't really give what needed to be given. I did like Coco. You know, that spider thing was everything. I did live for that. Victoria, I was expecting a little more from your performance, but because of your overall situation this season, you did your thing. But that whole finale and the way y'all revealed the winner, not just having us go down a hall where we saw all the people that y'all pretty much killed off and sent back to the underworld, and you basically just reveal her whole canvas on a tombstone. I'm like, what was that? Like, y'all couldn't even film her doing the finale thing? Like, that shit was a mess. But I will say, overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the season of Dragula. So that's why I brought it, because Harvey was on that show. Now he's on this show. He's from that, oh my God, that vampire show that Taika Waititi created. That's a series over on FX. But anyway, so Haley Kiyoko, who I like, she's a queer icon. That's like, they call her Lesbian Jesus. Julia Garner, who was up for the role of Madonna in the biopic. I don't know what's going on with that biopic, but she's a part of it, allegedly. Janelle Monáe, Maren Morris, Megan Stalter, and Orville Peck, who I absolutely love. And Orville Peck, speaking of which, is actually a part of my my Avalon picks of best albums of 2022. If you ever get a chance, I did post my best albums of 2022 and best films of 2022. Both of those are available on my website, so you can go check those out whenever you get a chance. It's Avalon.com, boo. Okay? So now this isn't the first time, I should say, that Maddie has judged the girls on Drag Race, having appeared as a judge in 2 episodes of season 13. Now it's been a pretty big year for the TS. In addition to appearing in the box office flop Bros, where she stole every minor scene she was in, and hosting Bring Back My Girls on Wild Present Plus, she also appears in the upcoming season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, set to air on Bravo sometime in 2023. Now, the question remains, because she did put this out there, could we see the TS holding a future Peach? Now, fingers crossed, Andy wises up and makes that permanent casting happen. Now, Drag Race Season 15 will feature 16 queens, the most in the show's history, and will have the show's highest ever grand prize, with the queen who comes out on top taking home $200,000. Now, if y'all want to see the trailer, you can definitely go to my website. And I do agree that T.S. Madison is a perfect addition to the show, because it's like, Ross is okay, Carson is okay, but we need a little more seasoning up on that show. RuPaul can't be the only, I mean, maybe she could be the only black girl that's up there. But quiet as it's kept, I need a little more sazon in the show. And having TS in there will definitely mix it up. I do like the idea that she's a part of it. And she's a larger than life personality. I'm really hoping that she brings it, because I don't know, Carson and Ross, they give me stale every now and again. I need a little flavor, like I said. So congratulations to the girl TS. I'm really looking forward to seeing her turn it out on this season, and I'm definitely looking to see what she's gonna do with the Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I think it was the one where it was the 10th anniversary of Speak On It. She was invited to Candy's event, and she's gonna be a part of that. And look, y'all like to use the gays as accessories. I don't see why. Now, I'm not saying that TS is an accessory, but it would be good if y'all had somebody who is a trans woman being a part of the show, because T.S. Madison is definitely doing some things in Atlanta, and she would definitely bring the drama and the spiciness. So I don't see why y'all don't, bring her on the show. She would make a great addition, and she definitely would bring them ratings up. Because quiet as it's kept, these current list of girls, I'm not featuring them. I did hear that something or another that Kim Zolciak is supposed to be making an appearance on this season, as well as Deshaun Snow, I believe, is supposed to be making an appearance. I would really like to have Phaedra come back, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen, because, the whole thing with her and Candy. But I did hear that Candy and Phaedra were actually at an event, I think it was an event Portia had. They were all in the same room together. So if y'all could do that, I don't see why she can't come back on the show. Or maybe it was they could be in the same room, but y'all just be avoiding each other. Y'all be doing the little Kim duck. Okay, so let's get into this next topic, which is Mary J. Blige. So after spending the last 3 decades conquering the music world, Queen of Hip Hop soul Mary J. Blige is ready to take on the world of TV and media. Now, shout out to Deadline for this news. In addition to her partnership with BET, Blue Butterfly has a first-look scripted TV deal with Lionsgate Television. Now, the first project from her first-look deal with BET is the unscripted series The Wind Down, not starring Tasha K, a talk show hosted by Blige, currently in production. The Wind Down will bring together the hottest, most outspoken, highly sought-after people in entertainment, sports, social media, and politics for raw, provocative, insightful, and real conversations over wine. Blige has her own wine label, Sun Goddess, with Italian winemaker Marco Fantanello, which launched in 2020. Guests will be announced at a later date. The Wind Down will be executive produced by Blige and her partners Ashana Ayers and Nicole Jackson, as well as Lisa Ayers Palmer and John and Jordan Davis of Davis Entertainment. Now, this is what she said in a statement. BET has been one of my biggest supporters throughout my career. Being able to now create together for them to be so supportive of my vision for the type of content I will create is something I'm grateful and excited for. We already have multiple projects in the works, and there is so much more to come. And I think this is actually a good look for Mary. Now, the funny thing was, I never really saw her as a talk show host. Because sometimes I be feeling like Mary gets a little tripped up over her words, and she always sounds like she's nervous when she talks a lot of time. But if she's able to pull off being a personality, I'm here for it. And there seems to be this ongoing theme of of hiring singers to become entertainers, like in the term of doing a talk show. Because who we got? We got Jennifer Hudson. She's okay. I mean, I watch her shows every now and again. I do thoroughly enjoy some of the segments that Jennifer Hudson does, like her interviewing and stuff. She does come across as very engaging and stuff. And sometimes you have to give people a moment to find their rhythm. But I feel like she's definitely doing it. And I particularly love her segments with when she does like the singing segments where it's like, oh, give us a line and we'll do a song to it. I love the one she did with her and Billy Porter. That was cute. And then there was, damn, who was the other one? Oh, I love the one she did with her and Tashina Arnold. So I like Jennifer Hudson's show. I've watched Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson is not my judge. That's Middle America, child. But y'all can have her. Like I met Kelly Clarkson and her family and stuff back when she was with the husband. It was cheap and a whole mess, and then took half the money. Before all that came out, I met them in LA because I worked in Beverly Hills at the time. And she was a lovely girl. So Kelly is very much southern and sweet as apple pie. As y'all see on TV, that's exactly how she is. She's very bubbly, she's very nice. I've never heard or seen or witnessed anything rude about her, but she's just not my judge. But do we need another celebrity-driven talk show? Hopefully it's entertaining. I hope it's entertaining. And y'all realize it ain't easy doing these talk shows, so whenever it airs on BET, I will definitely be checking it out. And I think it's smart that she's creating a show around her wine. So that's a way for her to sell her product. Which is basically what artists need to do anyway, because quiet as it's kept, it's like the music industry ain't paying nobody nothing. So you got to do everything through, product placement and endorsements and all that stuff. So shout out to you, Mary. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a little break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk more Drag Race news, including which Drag Race queen who would RuPaul have a double crowned. We're going to talk about Raja O'Hara's called on Favoritism. We're also going to talk about who won Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the World, because it aired last night. But when I wrote the article, I already told her who the top two was going to be. And you see his date stamped and stuff, so I already knew who was going to be the top two before it was revealed. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, we're just going to talk about the rest of this Drag Race stuff and a whole lot more. Okay. So don't go away. We'll be right back with more on the line.
gonna motherfucking take that wig off when he gets to that jailhouse, bitch. Listen. Hold on, let me, cause they play Beyonce, they gonna turn my radio off in the back. Bitch. Listen. What the fuck is y'all gonna get that nigga? Y'all better get that nigga some boho, cause he gonna need that shit, cause bitch, that nigga, or somebody better go down there, somebody better get him, somebody better go down there and sew that shit in, cause he gonna need some motherfucker. He gonna need that shit sold down. Hold on. Legger, it's Christmas. What we get Tory Lanez? We get him some boho. We gotta get that nigga some boho, cause they gonna take that wig off soon as he get in the motherfucking population. That wig got to go. Cause I'm one of them hoes. They took my wig when I got to jail. So what's gonna happen with that nigga? I told y'all. Fucked up right now because none of us forwarded them text messages back in 2008. Remember that shit that it was like, forward this message or you will have 20 years of bad luck.
Ew, we back. I hope y'all enjoyed them little commercials. I saw Miss Honey up in there. They were top dipping and spinning bitch on that stage. But anyway, welcome back to the show. And before we get into these other topics, I just want to say this. Congratulations to Oliver Twist for making the cover of Gabor magazine. It is the 1 year anniversary. The winter issue 2022-2023. So congratulations to them. I also want to give a shout out to my girl Splash T, who is an icon and a legend in the out hip hop music industry. She has a brand new album coming out. Well, I think it's out already, called Unapologetic Volume 1. It's got 10 tracks on it. If y'all get a chance, definitely go over to The Real Splash T, or it's to be The Real Splash _T, and listen to the album and subscribe to it. So we got to support our LGBT artists, especially our trans sisters out here giving what needs to be given. And I want to thank Thirst Trap Boys Official for this team. Chasing Atlanta, congratulations to y'all for being, season 5, I should say, because so y'all know what season we talking about, because it's been many. Chasing Atlanta season 5 is the most successful web reality show of 2022 across social media with 3,648,077 overall views. So yes, the girls out here doing what needs to be done. On the actual show, when people watch it on YouTube, it's 1,899,823. YouTube, the after show, brings in 269,554 views, and TikTok viewership is 1,478,700. So overall, that number is 3,648,077. So yes, Chase and Atlanta is definitely doing what they need to be doing. I know a lot of people be out here talking about there's no quality entertainment. They don't be making shows or reality shows and stuff for gay people, the LGBT. Yes, they do. Y'all just don't know because y'all not looking for it. So definitely check out Chase in Atlanta. Oh, watch all the Chasing shows. You need to watch Chase in Atlanta, Chase in LA, who they just had. Oh my God, who was it? Why am I drawing a blank? He was just on Bad Boys LA, the white queen, the one that got her ass beat when she came back to the house. So, you know, they got the famous people on there. Oliver Twist, speaking of which, I was just talking about, was on Chasing Atlanta. So definitely get that, watch that, because, you know, he works, I don't know if he still works for T.S. Madison, but definitely, yeah, watch that show. Also, check out Karan Wilson. His stuff is good too. The Come Up, this new season, bitch, is everything. I'm about, William the Baddest. I don't know why it took me, but I couldn't remember his damn name. But definitely check that show out because William the Baddest is a hot ass mess on there. The rest of the girls on there be giving what needs to be given, but just watch that show for that alone. Also, Chasing Atlanta, Rico with a K, daddy, he just don't know it yet. But I love that show. They be bringing the drama, and also on top of that, it showcases these queer artists doing stuff, actual stuff. Like they got brands. They a lot of them are making real good quality music. So definitely check that out. So it's basically like a cross between the Real Housewives of Atlanta meets Love and Hip Hop. Like it's got all that, but it's LGBT artists who are doing stuff. So y'all said there ain't nothing out there for us. The mainstream networks, unfortunately, the Carlos Kings and messy ass Andy Cohen, them two producers, aren't willing to give the opportunities to their own people. They want to sit and highlight women and make fools out of y'all. Y'all go ahead and get with that. But for queer artists, I love the fact that we have people out here, like the people over in the Chasing reality crew. And we have Karan Wilson, who is really out here giving, creating quality entertainment for us. So we should be supporting a lot of these shows. So definitely check that out. Especially to Come Up New York. Their new season is everything. Especially, and I'm not saying this because I know one of the people on the show. And he seemed to be the center of all the drama this season. Shout out to Spanky. So we know each other. We used to work with each other way back in the day when we used to work at AMC. I'm spilling tea, child. So back in the day, I used to work with Spanky. And yes, I know a lot of people are like, he's so quiet. Yes, he was very much that person. When we worked together, he was always quiet. It was always that inner voice. He wasn't somebody that really spoke up and spoke out and really put his. But it's like, okay, when you're on these reality shows, you really gotta find that inner whatever and bring that person out. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to Chasing Atlanta for for the success, and looking forward to season 6 and many more Chasing Atlanta tea, or Chasing reality tea, I should say. So, okay, so let's get into this RuPaul's Drag Race story. So RuPaul finally admitted what us Drag Race fans have been saying for years. While appearing on Watch What Happens Live earlier this week, Andy Cohen asked Mama Ru, which second runner-up queen would you have crowned as a double winner if you had the chance? Is there someone who didn't win Drag Race over all the seasons that in your mind you thought that one could have won? Almost immediately, the mother of all drag queens revealed, Shangela, she's amazing. We've actually put her on the show like 3 times, something like that. She's a fabulous queen. Now, Shangela has been a fan favorite since appearing during the 2nd season of Drag Race, to which she was the first queen to sashay away. She was brought back for season 3 and came in 6th place. And I also remember, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Shangela was the first queen to write on the mirror with the lipstick. I think she started that. And ever since then, that has kind of been, a lot of times producers will come up with stuff, but sometimes things are happy accidents. And I believe that was one of them. I think Shangela was the one that actually came up with let me just grab a lipstick and write a little note for everybody on the mirror. And that's stuck with the show. It's been the thing ever since. Now, Shangela would then go on to compete on All Stars 3, and we all thought that she had it in the bag to win. However, the show decided to turn Drag Race into Survivor and let the bitter eliminated queens decide who would be the final 2 to battle it out for the crown, which turned out to be Kennedy Davenport and Trixie Mattel. with Trixie ending up winning. Now, to call it the biggest upset in Drag Race history would be an understatement, but don't cry for Miss Shangela Argentina. Her career is just fine. Now, in addition to co-starring in and producing We're Here over at HBO Max with Bob the Drag Queen and Eureka, who we're also going to talk about in a couple of seconds, come on, Eureka, and appearing in A Star Is Born with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, she recently appeared on Dancing with the Stars where she plays fourth. So, like I said, don't cry for Shangela. She's got the career and all this stuff. And drama aside, because y'all know what I'm talking about, because I was the one that did the story that went, and did what it did all over social media. Now we're going to put that on the side and just focus on this. Specifically, I do agree, and we've all been saying this for years, Shangela should have had it in the bag to win that season of All Stars. I never liked the idea of the queens having to vote each other off the island and decide. Shout out to my friend David Lapp for taking this photo, by the way. Having to decide who gets to stay and who gets to sashay away. Because clearly there was some fire, venom, and shade that was what had happened for Shangela to not make it in the finale. Based on, I'm going by what we saw on the show. So yeah, Shangela should have won her season. Or that season. I love Trixie. I'm glad Trixie is successful in her own right and doing what needs to be done with her career. And she is very successful. I know she's got a reality show on HBO Max, I believe. It was like fixing up this hotel or something that she bought or whatever. I haven't seen it, but I know it's there. Because I see it in the damn thing whenever I'm scrolling to find something to watch. So Trixie is successful in her own right. Shangela is successful in other good stuff. So not that one. Because that's the iconic, episode that we was talking about. But anyway, so shout out to you, Shangela. And yeah, she should have won, but you know what? What we've come to learn a lot of times in this world of reality competitions, sometimes the people who win, or don't win, I should say, turn out to be successful in other avenues. Like, look, Jennifer Hudson didn't win her season, right? Look where she's at. Adam Lambert didn't win his season. Look where he's at. Like, we're talking about American Idol, some of these other shows. I was going to say Twitch didn't win his season, and he had a successful career, but he's no longer with us. Unfortunately, if y'all been paying attention to the news, you know what happened. So there's a lot of people that was in the world of reality. Did Whitney Harlow win her season of America's Next Top Model? I don't remember. But there's been girls from America's Next Top Model that win that were successful. And all these other reality shows that have come about, they've been successful in other ways. And you don't need to win a show to be successful, in my opinion. Like Eureka, Hara didn't win her seasons either. But she's successful. Especially most recently where she just came out as transgender. So congratulations to her on that. So let's get into this story. She says, I'm blessed now. This is what she told people exclusively because I know who I am without question. It was because of her HBO show We're Here, on which she and fellow drag superstars Shangela and Bob the Drag Queen visit small town America, that she decided to transition in the first place. And 7 months after she made the decision to transition, Eureka is proud to share her story publicly for the first time, saying it's been really magical and it's been probably the easiest transitional and coming out journey that I've ever been on. I hope my story teaches people that gender is a journey and we are ever evolving people. While filming the next 2 episodes of We're Here in Florida this spring, Eureka met 2 trans individuals, Mandy, who transitioned later in life, and Dempsey, a young trans girl who inspired her to re-examine her identity, saying, hearing this story of Mandy regretting losing all that time and all that regret and that pain that she was going through during the time of not fully being herself was really important to me. When I left Mandy's house that day, I started spiraling. It just had me searching my mind. What is happening? What is going on? Then I just answered myself. I'm trans. I'm a trans woman. It just clicked. She adds, now I'm 31 years old. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be like Mandy and finally transition at 70 to be happy. They have the same age that Caitlyn transitioned. I don't want to lose 40 years. I want to spend those 40 years happy. In the early days of her transition, Eureka had a strong support system in place, including her drag mother, Jacqueline St. James, and her We're Here sisters, Shangela and Bob. And Eureka felt empowered to share her story and take back her own narrative on the show, as she had several coming out moments in her life. Ahead of this transition, Eureka previously identified as a gay cisgender man, then lived as a trans woman from ages 18 to 22 before eventually identifying as non-binary. So if you want to read that whole article, I should say, you can go to my website or you can go to people.com and read the whole article. But I have the link and everything on my website, chrisavalon.com, if you want to check that out. But I have to say, you know what, everybody, it takes a lot of people a lot of time to figure out who they are and live in their truth. And I'm glad that Eureka has taken the time to finally sit in her truth and figure out who she is. And, you know, she did go on to say that when she was a child, from as young as she can remember, I just remember going to sleep and I would cry and pray to wake up a girl. She also said that she spent years contemplating her identity, saying the problem in the past has been there was always a question in the back of my mind. Is this really who I am? And did I give myself a chance as a young gay male? Was the question that I had from 18 to 22, because that was a lot of my parents' questions and therapist questions, a lot of people's opinions. She said that before she had, you know, embraced her trans identity, she found solace in the drag community and on stage. And I feel like, yeah, drag, I feel, gives people the opportunity to figure out. And I've noticed that throughout life. This is why I don't understand, like, it's nice that Drag Race is finally acknowledging that trans people play an integral part in the world of drag. Drag is not only just about cis gay men dressing up as women and being a caricature of females. That's not what drag is about. Drag is also about just trying to playing around with your gender, figuring out your identity. And a lot of trans people figure out who they are and their identity through dressing up and performing and doing all those things. There are some gay men who are just like, you know what, I just like, this is a job. I mean, not a job, but this is a career. But it's not all of who I am. And there's a lot of trans people, like me coming up in the club scene, I remember seeing a lot of trans women performing, you know, Karen Covergirl, some of the other girls back in the day. Tyra Allure, who y'all know as Dominique Tyra A. Ross. I would see women performing in the nightclubs and a lot of the black clubs coming up in New York City. Yeah, I've been around. Mother has lived. So, I just want to say, you know what, shout out to Eureka. I'm so proud that she's figured out who she is. And hopefully we'll get to see this journey that she continues to go on. And I'm happy that she's finally able to embrace who she is. And I think that's what people need to do, is just offer people grace, offer people to figure out the opportunity to figure out who they are, because gender identity, sexuality, all these things, it's ever evolving. We're always evolving as human beings. No one is just one plain thing forever. We're always evolving. Not just in sex and gender, but just in life as human beings. We're always evolving. We're always growing. We're always developing into different things. So congratulations to you, and yes, mama. All right, so I also want to give a shout out to my girl Bianca Del Rio, who has been selected to host the Pit Stop for season 15. Premiere every Saturday starting in January. So the Pit Stop always comes on the day after Drag Race is on. So I'm actually happy to see that Bianca Del Rio is going to be hosting Pit Stop. Now, who y'all going to get to host Fashion Photo Review? Because I hope it's not them two clowns from last season. Y'all need to put somebody up there who's actually entertaining and watchable and funny. Because I ain't like them other two girls at all. Attitudes abound. And I know for a fact. So, anyway. I did like the fact that, you know what, a lot of people were posting their comments that, you know, in the thing, you can go on my website and see those. You know, when she talked about she's doing the Pit Stop, RuPaul Drag Race was happy about it. Brooklyn Heights commented. T.S. Madison commented. Sultana Amrul, who y'all know as Raja, commented Scarlet Envy. You know, those were all the positives. And then, of course, you know, when it comes to Bianca's like Lady Bunny. Y'all can throw shade at them, but it's all in jokes, and people get it. They're totally fine when you say some of the shadiest, crazy stuff. So, you know, you get to see Jasmine Kennedy threw some shade. What was it, Deja Sky, and a bunch of other girls. Nux Noir London posted something, and she's one of the contestants that's on the new season. She also has a little short on an animated show called Bianca Saves Christmas, so y'all can definitely check that out on my website. And she also has a new what is it? Hurricane Bianca. So Hurricane Bianca 3 is actually coming, and Willem is going to be in it. So shout out to Bianca Del Rio. The Drag Race girls are definitely doing their thing. So shout out to them. And last but certainly not least, because I was just thinking about it, so we could do this one, but it feels like it'll be a hard closeout. There is an article I want to do about this Pornhub 2022 year in review, because we were talking about trans people, and I got to come out here and defend my trans folks, because some of y'all are a mess with that. So, well, let's get into this Raja O'Hara story. So there's one thing we've learned about Raja O'Hara is that she isn't afraid to speak her mind. Now, the season 11 and All-Star 6 queen, who is currently among the top 4 on Canada's Drag Race Canada vs. the World, recently appeared alongside eliminated queen Vanity Milan at Roscoe's Tavern in Chicago, a queer bar that hosts Drag Race viewing parties that you can watch on YouTube. It was there that season 8 alum and All-Stars 8 contestant Naysha Lopez, oh yeah, did I reveal that she's going to be on All-Stars 8? Oops. Naysha Lopez asked, did you guys at all feel there was any favoritism? We discussed this with Isis Couture, who, you know, quit because of mental health situations. And she did. She said she felt there was, and that it really effed with her. I don't want to say that they were playing favoritism, O'Hara explained, but there was a little bit of some favoritism. One time I actually had to slide, it made me feel really uncomfortable. I wouldn't say it was favoritism towards anyone on this stage. So while Raja didn't get into specifics, most likely due to strict gag orders the queens who compete have to sign, I do think it's kind of obvious that because the show they're competing on is in Canada, they're referring to Rita Baga as the one getting favored over other queens, since she is the only Canadian queen left. Now, Couture, who quit the show to work on her mental health, revealed in a prior episode of Roscoe's that production asked her to join the show to help keep the title, even though her own doctor advised her against her going back on TV. So I've been hearing, now I did hear rumblings, and you know, if y'all saw the episode, y'all know, because I posted this episode. What did I write this article? Please hold. I wrote this article 2 days ago. So this was Thursday, before the Friday episode aired. And I had the top 2 queens being Silky Nutmeg Ganache and Raja, and it turned out they were the top 2. With, and if y'all don't want to know who won, go off if you haven't watched the episode yet. So, congratulations to my girl Raja O'Hara. We go see up in this picture. Oh, hey Dijon, nice to see you. Raja O'Hara won Drag Race Canada, Canada vs. the World. Now I will say this: I was not feeling Canada this season. I thought it was a little dry. Them challenges really wasn't given what needed to be given. I don't particularly care for the judges. And sometimes you Canadians, y'all be a little too jolly for me. But that's who they chose to judge the show. That's why I watch. But anyway, so yeah, but look, y'all may have tried to play favorites with the Canadians, but at the end of the day, an American girl won. And this is why I'm really looking forward to this new spin-off that they're going to be doing, which is the Global Drag Race, because if we can get all girls from all around the world to be on this one show, just bring them all to America, pay that good money, get y'all visas ready, so these girls can make a coin, because it's sad. And I'm really hoping what they do is they start moving a lot of those shows, like especially on the BBC. Can y'all get that on, like, do y'all have the MTV over in the UK? Because y'all need to be making some money. There's no way in hell I'm doing a competition show and I'm getting a fucking RuPaul badge. What the hell is that? Mind you, I'm spending, well, I would say in American dollars, because I don't know how much 20 grand would be in, in UK coin. But there ain't no way in hell I'm spending all this money to come show out on a show. You said high as hell. There's no way in hell I'm not getting paid, because you can't get paid if you do the and any one of those BBC type shows. You can't make money off of in the whole reality TV thing. So these girls are doing this shit for free and a Rupita badge. I was like, oh no. So now I'm going broke. So how am I gonna make money if I can't get a payout? So the good thing is, like, when they do all these other spin-offs, like when they do these other the versus the world shows, you're a British girl over in Canada, at least you get a little money. That's the loophole. So shout out to Raja O'Hara, and if y'all want to see that full episode of the Roscoe's, you can definitely go to my website and check that out, because it is there. And I have to say, it was a good episode, because the whole she was messy. But as the questions talk about how you got people who have a career of dressing straight men judging drag queens on how they supposed to look. And she was like, oh, you better read Carson. So shout out to Miss Raja O'Hara and all that good stuff. Okay. I don't know how the hell I forgot her damn name. It's like all of a sudden I'm drawing. Look, I don't know. Maybe it's coming because I'm getting older or I'm tired or whatever. But it's like I be forgetting people's names. Yeah, Naysha Lopez is being a hot ass mess in that episode. But I live for it. I love when the drag queens get a little messy and catty, because I don't like all that diplomatic shit. I really don't. Like, if you're gonna keep it real, keep it real. If you're gonna be messy, but be a good kind of messy. Or just be messy like me. Okay, so let's get into this final story, which is Pornhub has revealed their annual year in review, and it seems like a lot of people have an issue with trans people in public, but love to fetishize trans porn performers in private. Now, shout out to Al for this story. It's been reported that trans porn is the third most popular category in the US and the 7th in the world. That group sex searches also saw a 34% increase, while scissoring saw a 96% jump in search terms next to pegging. Ooh. A report from them notes that Pornhub gathers data from Pornhub Gay separately and not by gender. Pornhub Gay also reported a 202% increase in searches for F to M, which is female to male, making it the 20th of the top 20 gay. So, child, what y'all on my phone? Because I do like the FTN stuff. Yeah, let me spill my tea. Look, some of these trans men, y'all could get it. And look, even though as a gay man, and I will say this, I'm not a gold star gay. I have slid up with some cooch many a times within my earlier days. The only time you will see me get anywhere near some vagine if it's attached to a trans male. They get more viewers in the UK than the US. That's why the girls flock overseas more. Yeah, but they're not getting paid doing the UK show. But what is that? Oh, so Pornhub also reported a 202% increase in searches for female to male, making it the 20th of the top 20 gay searches. It didn't rank at all last year. The increase in trans porn interest also comes alongside a number of anti-trans and general anti-LGBTQ bills lawmakers are trying to enforce. Last year, an Alabama Republican lawmaker was caught liking trans porn on Twitter after voting to criminalize doctors who provide minors with transition-related health care. And this was one of the reasons why I want to talk about it, because it's like a lot of times y'all sit up out here and y'all want to degrade trans people. You want to treat them like the scum of the earth. I was just watching some video and I don't remember who it was. It made you moist. One of the things I had to say is that I don't remember who it was, but I think it was on TikTok or I was on Instagram. And it was a trans girl that was on there, and I think she's a personality or something, who was sitting there and reading. There was 2 young boys and a little kid that was sitting up in there. Kid constantly being like, shut up. And she's reading all of them, and the guy in the background who you can't see. So they're up in there, and she's arguing with these kids who are coming at her because she's trans. So we get a lot of that. But I will say this, the little light-skinned one, he looked like he was down. And that's what I feel like a lot of times, and I don't know how old he was, but I'm just saying, based on the video, based on the footage I saw, he looked like he was willing to lay it low and spread it wide for that T-girl. And I feel like that's a lot of what happens, is the fact that a lot of y'all like to throw shade at the trans community. You like to call them freaks, you like to call them all sorts of names, but low key, y'all be watching them videos and getting off on it, or y'all want to punch a T-girl or a T-boy, but y'all want to do it in secret. So I don't like that. I don't like the fact that y'all want to love on them in private, but you want to hate on them in public. And then you get these politicians that want to discriminate and go in and let have on a lot of these trans people, but y'all be the main ones that be bringing them to your little humble abode, hiring them as hookers or whatever the case is, or y'all be up in there liking and shit and you know, getting off on the entertainment. And it's unfortunate that a lot of times there's so much discrimination with housing, real legitimate jobs, which is why a lot of them have to resort to either adult entertainment, or they get lucky enough that they could do something like T.S. Madison, which is go in and become a personality and flip that into something. So you either become a T.S. Madison, a Laverne Cox, a Angelica Ross, a Tyra Ross, one of those girls. And before, it's funny, DJ, before you got up in here, I was sitting up here talking about like a lot of the drag queens who, you know, in the trans world and all this stuff, and a lot of the clubs and stuff was coming up in like Two Potato and all that stuff. So definitely was talking about that. So yeah, so the Huffington Post further discussed the difference between visibility and equality, as well as whether the increase in these searches pose a sign of fetishization. It does. That said, it's likely a combination of fetish and genuine curiosity about exploring gender and sexuality. With nearly 1 in 5 members of the Gen Z population identifying on the queer spectrum, this could easily be the case. Now, regardless of the reason, still far more likely to have to face dangers and stigmas that prevent them from living happy and healthy lives. Overall, advocates worry that the possible fetishization of trans people might increase the stigma surrounding a vulnerable group in the LGBTQ+ community. But I'm hoping what all this does is that, yeah, you have those younger generations like the Gen Zs who are genuinely curious and are looking to explore their sexuality and explore, you know, mashing with genders and all that other stuff. That is not necessarily this fetishization. I mean, I know there's a fine line within all of that. And me personally, I'm always trying to be someone who's not be someone, but I have always been someone who's genuinely curious about gender identity, sexuality, all that stuff, and exploring different aspects of that. Instead of, there's no intent in me trying to fetishize someone or whatever. It's like, you try anything once. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But it's just experimentation, trying to figure out what it's like. Same thing with something earlier with Eureka and, you know, that gender exploration. There's something that is to that when you as a human explores that. And I don't think people should judge people who are interested in trans people or wanting to date someone who's trans, because it doesn't necessarily make them gay. There was a video that T.S. Madison posted, and shout out to her, because I love the fact that she always likes my posts and she always shares stuff, especially when I write articles on her. And then she commented on something that that I posted on her comments, because there was a doctor who went in on this girl, I forget what her name was, but it's on her page, and she was talking about the trans community, or she was saying, I'm a trans woman, and this, and the doctor being messy, it was automatically going, oh, so you want, what are you into? You want a gay man? Like, girl, first of all, you being messy, you know damn well, what a gay man going to do with a trans woman? I mean, unless that's something that you're into. So, to automatically lump that in, you trying to be messy, because a lot of you women like to do that, because I don't understand, and you should understand. You're a damn doctor, so you should understand sexuality and gender identity. You should be understanding all of that. So, overall, I just want to say, good luck to y'all. Like what you like, and stop worrying about what these damn people think when it comes to who y'all want to hunch. So before we go, Dijon says, what about the child that was forced to wear a dress at the ball and the kid didn't feel comfortable and told his mother no. It was sad. Oh, I didn't hear about that. Why would a child be forced to wear a dress? Was it a girl someone who was biologically born female and didn't want to wear a dress, and the mother told her to put it on? So if it's something like that where a child doesn't necessarily want to wear a dress or whatever, then I don't think kids should be forced to wear. First of all, not all little girls like wearing dresses anyway. I know a lot of girls who were born tomboys that don't like wearing dresses. So, um, yeah, there's that. So anyway, thank you all for watching this wonderful episode. Definitely check the replay and all that other good stuff because we definitely had a lot of juicy topics that we got to tonight, especially when we talk about this whole Megan Thee Stallion and all that other stuff. So we will be back to do a rewatch of the Adamarta interview that I did. That's gonna be back at 11. So I will say this: Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, love you all. And until next time, ciao, darlings.
This is for faggots.